hit the report button for my students who are not going to be here right now, but want to watch this later. So looking at the overall SPY, people are still digesting this inflation report. So as people start to basically, as what I mean by digesting, mean like they're still trying to analyze, hey, what does this mean on the overall larger scale? So as a trader, what can we do, right? We're going to watch the 180-day 4-hour chart. We know that we have a common resistance at 471 over here, or 471. We need to break 471 before we can start pushing up to 473. Very simple. We know this level has a bit of resistance. The stock pushed up, went sideways. So even though the SPY is pushing up right now, we still got a wall right here that it hasn't broken. And after it breaks that 471, we could push to 473. Now, if we start to see some weakness, MACD has not crossed up yet. RSI is still a little bit on the overbought. I know the SPY is magical. It'll push up overbought even though, but if we start to see some weakness today, we want to see a break of the trade line. That break of the trade line, the violation of that trade line is going to be when we want to switch our mindset towards a bearish position, because now it's basically underneath. When it's above, we're bullish. When it starts to get below, it's bearish. So on the break of 467, we could start dropping down towards 465. So watch out for that on the overall SPY. Few stocks we want to watch today. Tesla. I was in a beautiful short in Tesla yesterday. It was crazy. So let's look at Tesla over here. You can see I have a lot of lines, right? A lot of dotted lines. So this one's representing the 20-day, 180-day. This is the 1-year trade line. Those are all for my mental when I'm trading. I like to keep these up to know where my possible barriers. But overall, Tesla is very, very oversold now. We can see that on the 180-day. Although I want it to drop, the RSI is telling me the possibility for a drop is high risk right now, right? The RSI was around 30, it's pushing around 40 right now with this nice little bounce. I even said it yesterday, Tesla looks probably good for a bounce, right? RSI on the 20-day, blue. Now it's looking like the MACD wants to cross up. So Tesla could actually recover everything it lost yesterday, because you know how people love to dip buy on Tesla. So want to watch Tesla this morning. I was actually looking for the break of 1019, which is looking like it wants to break it right now. If we jump over towards the 180-day, where did I get 1019? 1019 is going to be the break of the 180-day trade line. Once we break that, that's confirmation for upside. And then I believe we can start pushing up towards like the 1070 levels over here. I said 1019 towards like 1040. We have some type of, where did this line come from? Right? So 1019, then we could start pushing up towards like 1040, which has been some type of support from here. And then we could possibly push up towards this 1070 levels, maybe even retest that SMA. This kind of looks like a double bottom pattern, right? Whenever we see these double bottom patterns, we typically have a nice little bounce. If Tesla starts to look weak today, what am I going to look for, right? I'm going to look for it to break the 20-day trade line. Since now it's trying to get above, I want it to break at least 9,000 or 997, and then we could start possibly testing that 970 level, maybe even get down even lower. So that's what we got to wait for. This could be a little pop in the stock before it comes back down. So always want to think of both scenarios, make sure we wait for confirmation and crossovers before we get in. Next one I want to talk about is Apple. So Apple is overbought. MACD is crossed down right now. But one thing we notice, right? Whenever that MACD line crosses down and the stock stays the same, we didn't get any real separation of that trigger line, right? So you can see some type of consolidation. So it could mean that, hey, Apple's finding some type of support before the next leg up. So I kind of see this often as well. RSI is making a little bit more room for the upside. If we do get a MACD crossover up on Apple, I think on the break of 176, no doubt Apple's going to start pushing up towards 178 and maybe even higher. I'm trying to scroll down over here. Apple had actually got upgraded to 195. So it got a few upgrades, but we just need to see it happen, right? We just need to see the confirmation for those upward movements. Overall, 180-day does look like it wants to cross down, so we want to be cautious. If it doesn't break that 176, it could easily come down, hit that 174, and then we have a nice little gap on the downside to fill, right? From 174 down towards that 170 level, like a $4 drop. So definitely want to watch to see what's going to happen with Apple. This one's another nice one, right? For smaller accounts, bigger accounts, Wells Fargo, basically these contracts are trading around like $20, $30, and they move, right? If you think about 10, 20% on a $20, $30 contract, or $50 contract. The contract doesn't really have to move far for you to make good percentages. So another thing is, if the inflation data works in favor for the banks, a lot of these bank stocks are going to start pushing. You can see it on the break of $50.60, which has been a previous resistance, previous support, previous resistance. So on the break of $50.60, we can start pushing in this range over here towards 51. You can see there's no real support resistance. There is, but it's not really like strong, right? We don't have no real solid levels, right? So next solid level that we're going to see is that 51.80, which we can see was tested multiple times. And if we start to come down looking for the break of the trade line, like always, on the break of $49.78. So I see some of you guys called out some stock, or maybe you're just telling me can't let the theta monster get you. That is a fact, right? Never hold a stock that's going against you, right? If you're holding a stock that's going against you, you could shoot yourself in the foot. That's going to be the same feeling, because the theta is going to end up eating your profit. But other than that, that's going to be simply it. It is Friday. So you guys want to be cautious. Don't get expirations that expire today, Amanda. But don't get expirations that expire today, because they're going to be extremely high risk, right? Contracts that expire today, they're going to be very fast moving. Their main goal today is to get to zero. So if it pushes up in your favor, it's going to shoot up fast. As soon as it has a slight pullback, it's going to decline very fast as well too. A few other stocks we want to talk about. Moderna actually has news today as well. Moderna basically is dropping very hard this morning because they actually have news with basically Fauci. Fauci is basically saying that maybe people don't need 4 shots to basically get over the new virus. So because of that news, Moderna is dropping very hard. So I would watch it, even though it's oversold. It could start tanking on the break of 211. We could see we bounce off that area before. If it starts breaking 211, I think Moderna could basically start dropping down towards like 196 over here. So make sure you watch out for that. Another stock we want to talk about is Oracle. So Oracle basically had earnings yesterday. Look at this, bounced crazy, right? That's why I always say, try to get these stocks over sold levels, right? You can see the stock basically had earnings shot up from basically 86 to 100, very, very overbought. So I am expecting some type of pullback on this because it's super overbought over here. So watch for the pullback from like 97 down to 93. I wouldn't even be shocked if this thing gives half of this move back. A lot of people are going to take profits after earnings. And a few oversold stocks. Tesla's oversold, right? We spoke about this. Tesla's oversold. This could be a one that you guys want to get maybe 3 months out on some long positions, or 2 months out on some long positions. Coinbase oversold as well. You guys know crypto has basically been taking a hit after that guy's faking that he basically invented Bitcoin and he's getting sued for it. So Coinbase is very oversold right now, kind of looking like a double bottom pattern. So definitely want to watch that. And then next one, Square. Look at Square, very oversold over here. You can see that on the 188, it is trying, the RSI is trying to pull up. MACD is crossed up. I think we need to break that 194 before we push up to 200. And that's going to be it for today. So I'll see you guys in the chat room. Make sure you guys be very cautious. If you're not willing to trade extreme volatility, don't get same day expirations. And we'll go from there. Well, you guys have a green day later. Bye.
Thank you.
Welcome.